On Monday, the 49ers announced that they have agreed to a restructured 1-year deal that will keep Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco. Well, the contract has one big twist. There's a no trade clause for this year. Garoppolo's going to become a free agent next season. Here's why this contract is a problem for Trey Lance. I'm Mitchell Kaminsky, and you're listening to the Dorm Room Dispute Podcast. So Jimmy Garoppolo's no trade clause doesn't mean he won't get traded, but it just means Garoppolo has to be included in the talks if he's going to consent to the trade. Now, when the 49ers first drafted Trey Lance, I think it made a lot of sense. The 49ers are very well aware an organization. Lynch has done a great job as a GM over there. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan, they know what they're doing. So it's very much reminded me of the Smith and Patrick Mahomes kind of changing of the guard. You know, you have Alex Smith in there who was still very effective for the Chiefs at the time, leads them to the playoffs that year. And then it was pretty much a smooth transition because they knew Mahomes was going to be the guy moving forward. And Garoppolo, basically the same thing, very effective this year, beats the Packers on the road, gets them to the NFC Championship game. And now they're going to kind of changing of the guard to Trey Lance, which would make sense in theory. And so they tried to trade Garoppolo this offseason, which I think all made sense from the 49ers perspective if they thought Trey Lance was their guy. Now, a couple things prevented the 49ers from trading Garoppolo. Number one, he had offseason shoulder surgery. So teams didn't even know if he was fully healthy. Number two, he's owed a lot of money. So a lot of teams didn't want to pay the money owed to him on the contract. And number three, a lot of teams knew that they were trying to trade him. So they really didn't have a whole lot of leverage in it. Now, this is why this contract could be a problem for Trey Lance. And this is why it signals some problems I see for him. Because I don't think it's a bad move in the 49ers perspective. Number one, by re-signing him, you're putting a lot of pressure on Trey Lance all of a sudden. Because this is supposed to be his team. And now you have a guy that's taking the 49ers to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game. Like, a lot of people don't like Garoppolo, but he wins games. His career as a starter, he's 33-14. When he first got to the 49ers in 2017, he went 5-0 that year. The 49ers were 6-10 that season. He wins a lot of games. And a lot of people don't like the quarterback win stat. And listen, I don't think it's the NL all, but I think it has value. Why do we think Tom Brady's the GOAT? Because he's got 6 Super Bowls and wins a lot of games. So, I mean, when you're the most important position on the field, I think wins, you can put some stock into it. And everywhere he's gone, he wins games. So you got a guy that's been taking him to the Super Bowl. He's a proven commodity, and it's a team that is ready to win now. The roster is loaded with talent. I think the offensive line's a lot better than people think. It's got weapons. There's weapons such as Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Elijah Mitchell. The defense is very stout. You got one of the best linebackers in the league with Fred Warner. And then you got Bosa with the pass rush. It's a very good team. They're ready to win now. And, with Trey Lance, he's more athletic. He's got a bigger arm to Garoppolo. So there is an upgrade. There's not a whole lot of excuses. Even Nick Bosa came out and said, look, like, he's got all the help he needs. So for rookie quarterback playing in his first really full year in the NFL, he's, for all intents and purposes, a rookie. This is his first year as a starter. Didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year. I mean, it's a lot of pressure to perform. And the NFL is not easy. It can take a transition. But now you got a guy behind you that's already known how to win, and you really have no excuses to that roster. You lose 2-3 games, everyone's going to be calling for your job. You got a quarterback controversy on your hands. And I'm a firm believer, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you really have no quarterback. So imagine Trey Lance, he's coming in, he thinks it's his team, and now you got the guy that's won a bunch of games from him, breathing down his neck. You make a couple of mistakes, doubt starts to creep in, and a lot of the teammates are going to turn, maybe Garoppolo should be our guy. We've seen him win. We got this guy standing here that's pretty good, proven commodity. That's a lot of pressure for Trey Lance. Now, listen, I don't hate the move for the 49ers. This move is telling me they don't really trust his Lance as much as they think they do, because this is their Super Bowl contention window. They know the window's open right now. They know they got all this talent. They're telling me by making this deal, we're not too sold on him, especially after this preseason. We want the insurance option. No, they're never going to come out and say that because they're like, oh, Trey Lance is our guy. But I think if you watch him during the preseason, they're like, I don't know if we're completely sold on. His touch is a little off. I mean, he throws fastballs when he needs to throw changeups when he needs to throw fastballs. He doesn't. It seems like at times he doesn't have a really good feel for the game. And we've seen that a little bit in preseason as well. And there's no denying his talent. I think he's got a lot of talent, but feels a little off. So I mean, here's why I like the move for the 49ers. Like I said, they got a win now team, and Garoppolo's good. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL outside of Lamar Jackson. I mean, people don't give him much respect. I think the Browns would have been wise to trade for him. No one wanted to trade for him. The fact that the market for Jimmy G was not very good is kind of baffling me. Like, let's look at his numbers from last season. He had a 98.7 pass rate. That's better than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, Mac Jones, Josh Allen, Matt Ryan, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. All those guys, pretty good. Garoppolo also had a 68.3 completion percentage last year. That was the sixth best in the NFL. It beat guys like Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. Now, and there's a notion that he doesn't throw the ball down the field much. Well, there's that playoff game. He only threw 6 passes. He's a game manager. Well, that's not necessarily true either because he was 12th in yards per game. So he can't push the ball downfield at times more than people think. They ask him to. Now, he knows how to win games. He handles the games well. They run the ball a lot more than they think, but they push the ball downfield at times, and he doesn't turn the ball over a ton. I mean, you look at his touchdown, his career, 71 touchdowns, 38 interceptions. That's not that bad. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo is a pretty solid quarterback that no one gives a whole lot of respect to. So now you're the 49ers. You're not sold on Trey Lance. This is your window. Okay, we got an insurance policy, which is good. That's why I think it's a smart move with the 49ers. But if you're Trey Lance, that's spelling bad news for you. It's not great for the development of your quarterback. If the season was about developing Trey Lance, they would have shipped him out of town because that would basically be giving an endorsement to Trey Lance, another boost of confidence. Like, you got no pressure. Now there's a little bit more pressure, whether they say so or not, because actions speak louder than words. And the fact they brought him back and he's going to be in that room going to make things a little bit awkward for Trey Lance. So I think it's a smart move for the 49ers to win a Super Bowl. Not necessarily if they want to develop their quarterback. They might be in the market for another one pretty soon if this thing doesn't pan out. But it'll be interesting. This team's going to be very interesting to watch. I wish Trey Lance the best of luck, but I got a feeling it's going to be rough for him because quarterback's a tough position mentally as it is. And now you got the added pressure of that. And without a whole lot of excuses, we'll see how long his leash is. You get 2 or 3 bad starts in a row. You put Garoppolo in, who knows? Or even if they don't go to Garoppolo, the teammates can be questioning him. You're like, well, we got this guy standing here that's taken to the Super Bowl 1 games before. We'll see. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, please make sure you like and subscribe below if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you follow us there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Dorm Dispute for all of our latest episode drops, tweets, and other content. Have a wonderful rest of your week.